This NBA season has been full of surprising moves around the league. The move to fire Malone, certainly one of the biggest.
I would say
I'd say top.
by
Okay.
quite a bit. David Adelman, as Rhea said, takes over now. He has had to coach a couple times on an interim basis. Today, Nugget ownership saying this gives them the best chance to win this year, these 3 games in the postseason. Nuggets president Josh Kroenke spoke with Altitude's Vic Lombardi about the decision. Vic now joining us live. Vic, an interesting conversation because while most of us were stunned, obviously this is something that Josh and his father and the rest of the ownership had decided a little while ago.
Yeah, Tommy, when I was called into Ball Arena, I thought I was getting fired, to be honest, which makes a lot of sense. And then the news comes down, of course, about both Michael Malone and general manager Calvin Booth. This is something that they've been contemplating. It wasn't a snap decision. It wasn't something in the last 24 or 48 hours. They have seen dysfunction. They have seen a team that has played, to be totally blunt with you, without much joy. And that joy is necessary when you're playing sports at any level. If you're not smiling, if you're not having a good time, this is what happens. People lose jobs. It's pro sports. It's hard to imagine that 2 guys that were largely responsible for the Nuggets' first championship in half a century are both gone now. But again, this is what you sign up for when you sign on the dotted line for a professional sports job.
Vic, it's a star-driven league, the NBA. Nikola Jokic is the biggest among them. He had what to say about this. He hasn't commented publicly, but you have to have the feeling that they at least ran it by him if it wasn't something that he thought that they needed to do.
I'm not sure if they've run it by him at all, but I'm sure that, he is not going to say anything to rock the boat. I highly doubt that. I think we all know Nikola Jokic. He's a team-first guy. So if he feels that this was in the best interest of the team, he'll go along for the ride. I'm sure he has an affinity for Coach Malone and Calvin Booth. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he loves them, both as men. But this is business. This is pro sports. You don't make a move like this without getting the understanding from a marquee player like that it'll go over. And they made a move before the end of the season. And I think the reason why they did it now is they want to see if it sparks something out of the guys who are left. Do they have anything in the tank? Or was this a function of just 2 long seasons? We'll see. We'll find out what kind of playoff run they make.
Well, if you were a betting guy, how long does it take until we know? In the next 3 games?
Well, 3 games might be too soon, to be honest with you. They go to a place tomorrow night, Sacramento. They're playing for something. Their next game against Memphis is playing for something. This is going to be a tough stretch for the Nuggets. They are going to be mired in, after tonight, probably a 3 or 4-way tie in the Western Conference. They made this bed that they're laying in right now. Getting out of it may not be easy. So I say we give it, the stretch run and then decide what happens. I know that Josh Kroenke told me today, he said they're going to make a decision on a head coach and a GM after the fact. They're not going to do it now. They're not going to make a decision in the next week, clearly. They're going to let this happen and then from there go on and see. But, part of me says, what if? What if this bunch that's left over makes some magic? I guess I can't wait to find out.
Vic, I think the biggest surprise stories, big stories that surprise people would be the Elway trade. The Russell Wilson signing goes up there, and sadly, I'd say the murder of Darren Williams. But this goes right up there as one that surprised us all and really shook Denver, the Denver sports fan, to the core.
It surprised me at the timing.
Yeah.
The fact that somebody was let go after a subpar season in their mind, that does not surprise me. I just thought it would happen when all the dust settled, to be honest with you. The timing surprised me. The actual action of the move, I don't know if a lot of people on the inside were desperately surprised by this. Because, again, if you look at this team over the last 2-3 weeks, they just weren't there. Something was missing, and they hope to find it again.
Vic, always good to talk with you. Thanks for taking a few minutes.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you.